Your legs are screaming at you, and it's not just age. That burning sensation after a short walk to the mailbox, the cramping that forces you to stop halfway through the grocery store, the aching that keeps you up at night. You've probably written it off as just getting older. But here's what your doctor might not be telling you. Recent studies from the Journal of Vascular Surgery found that over 8.5 million Americans over 60 are suffering from peripheral artery disease without even knowing it. And when researchers at Harvard Medical School examined leg pain in seniors, they discovered something shocking. The pain isn't always about your joints or bones. It's about what's happening inside your blood vessels. Your arteries are narrowing, your blood flow is restricted, and your muscles are literally starving for oxygen and nutrients. But the most groundbreaking part of their research, they found that specific compounds in certain foods can actually reverse this process. Not just manage it, reverse it. We're talking about opening up those constricted blood vessels, flooding your muscles with oxygen-rich blood, and eliminating that debilitating pain that's been holding you hostage. And the number one food on this list. Scientists were stunned when they discovered it could improve circulation by up to 42% in just 12 weeks. This food has been sitting in grocery stores for decades, but nobody knew its true power until now. You can find all research and medical studies in the description below if you'd like to dive deeper after watching. Before we begin, tell us in the comments now your age and where you're watching us from. We're reading and replying to every single comment, so drop your comments below. Now let's get started. Number 4. Spinach. Let's start with spinach, and no, this isn't just Popeye propaganda. There's real science behind why this leafy green deserves a spot on your plate every single day. When you experience leg pain after walking, one of the hidden culprits is something called endothelial dysfunction. Your endothelium is the thin layer of cells lining your blood vessels, and when it stops working properly, your arteries can't relax and expand the way they should. This means less blood flow to your leg muscles, which translates directly into pain, cramping, and fatigue. A study published in the Journal of Nutrition involving 27 healthy adults found that consuming high-nitrate vegetables like spinach increased plasma nitrate levels by 853%. But here's why that matters for your legs. Your body converts these nitrates into nitric oxide, which is like a natural blood vessel relaxer. Nitric oxide signals your arterial walls to open up wider, allowing more oxygen-rich blood to flow through. Most studies showing benefits used anywhere from 200 to 500 grams of spinach, which sounds like a lot until you realize that fresh spinach cooks down dramatically. The key is consistency. You want to eat spinach at least 5 times per week to maintain those elevated nitrate levels. But preparation matters enormously here. When you boil spinach, you're literally pouring the nitrates down the drain because they're water-soluble. Instead, steam your spinach lightly for just 2 to 3 minutes, or better yet, consume it raw in salads. If you're making a smoothie, throw in 2 cups of raw spinach with some fruit. Another powerful method is to sauté spinach quickly in olive oil with garlic. The heat releases some nutrients, while the oil helps your body absorb fat-soluble vitamins like vitamin K. Speaking of vitamin K, this is another reason spinach is crucial for leg health. Vitamin K activates proteins that help prevent calcium from depositing in your arteries. A study in the Journal of Nutrition found that higher vitamin K intake was associated with a 52% lower risk of severe arterial calcification. Research suggests that the nitrate conversion process works best when you consume spinach earlier in the day, so that spinach omelette for breakfast is strategically better than having it with dinner. Now let's move on to something even more powerful for fighting inflammation in your legs. Number 3. Fatty fish. Fatty fish like salmon, mackerel, sardines, and herring contain something your legs desperately need. We're talking about omega-3 fatty acids, specifically EPA and DHA. When you walk and your legs start hurting, part of what's happening is an inflammatory cascade. Your muscle cells release inflammatory compounds called cytokines, and when circulation is poor, these inflammatory molecules accumulate instead of being flushed away. Omega-3s break this cycle at a fundamental level. Research published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition studied 4,815 adults over the age of 65 and found that those with the highest blood levels of omega-3 fatty acids had a 29% lower risk of developing peripheral artery disease. Another study in the journal Atherosclerosis found that omega-3 supplementation improved walking distance in patients with leg pain by an average of 42 meters after just 12 weeks. That might not sound like much, but for someone who can barely make it to the car without stopping, an extra 42 meters is life-changing. The magic happens because EPA and DHA get incorporated into your cell membranes, including the cells lining your blood vessels. Once there, they reduce inflammatory molecules and increase compounds that actively resolve inflammation. A study in the Journal of Lipid Research showed that people who consumed fatty fish 3 times per week had 23% lower levels of C-reactive protein, a key marker of inflammation. The American Heart Association recommends at least 2 servings of fatty fish per week, with each serving being about 3.5 ounces cooked. But for therapeutic effects on leg circulation, aim for 3 to 4 servings per week. Wild-caught salmon provides about 1.5 grams of omega-3s per serving. Mackerel is even more concentrated with about 2.5 grams per serving. Here's where most people mess up the preparation. When you overcook fish at high temperatures, you damage the delicate omega-3 fatty acids. The best cooking methods are gentle. Bake your fish at 350 degrees for about 12 to 15 minutes until it flakes easily. Poaching is even better because the fish never gets hotter than 180 degrees. Steaming is another excellent option that preserves the omega-3. One strategy that works brilliantly is to eat smaller portions of fish more frequently. Your body can only absorb so much omega-3 at one time, so having 2 to 3 ounces of fatty fish 4 times per week is more effective than having 6 ounces twice per week. A study in Circulation tracked over 3,000 older adults for 5 years and found that those who ate fish 2 or more times per week had significantly better arterial function. The benefits compound over time. When researchers followed people who consistently ate fatty fish for 6 months or longer, they found progressive improvements in circulation markers and walking distance. Let's transition now to a powerful antioxidant source that protects your blood vessels from the inside out. Number 2. Walnuts. Walnuts are absolute circulation powerhouses. When you crack open a walnut, you're looking at one of the highest plant-based sources of omega-3 fatty acids. But what makes walnuts special for leg pain goes beyond just omega-3s. They contain L-arginine, polyphenols, and antioxidants that work together to improve endothelial function. A landmark study published in the Journal of the American College of Cardiology examined 24 adults and found that eating just 1.5 ounces of walnuts daily for 8 weeks improved the ability of blood vessels to dilate by 64%. Another study in the journal Angiology followed patients with peripheral artery disease who added walnuts to their diet. After 6 months, these patients showed a 24% improvement in flow-mediated dilation, which is the gold standard measurement of blood vessel health. Walnuts contain L-arginine that your body converts into nitric oxide. While spinach provides nitrates, L-arginine becomes nitric oxide through a completely different process. This means eating both gives you dual pathways for nitric oxide production. The polyphenols in walnuts provide another layer of protection. These compounds are metabolized by your gut bacteria into urolithins, which reduce vascular inflammation. A study in Nutrients found that walnut consumption increased urolithin levels in the blood by 78% after just 3 weeks. The research consistently points to about 1.5 ounces per day as the optimal dose, which equals roughly 12 to 14 walnut halves. You can eat them whenever it's convenient as a snack between meals. Preparation and storage are crucial for maintaining beneficial compounds. The omega-3s and polyphenols are susceptible to oxidation. Store your walnuts in an airtight container in the refrigerator where they'll stay fresh for up to 6 months. Never buy pre-chopped walnuts that have been sitting on shelves. You want to eat walnuts raw or very lightly toasted. When walnuts are roasted at high temperatures, studies show that up to 20% of beneficial polyphenols can be destroyed. If you want to enhance the flavor, toast them in a dry pan over medium-low heat for just 3 to 4 minutes. You can add walnuts to your morning oatmeal, toss them into salads, or blend them into smoothies. A study in the Journal of Nutrition tracked older adults who added walnuts to their diet for 2 years. They showed better blood vessel function and had 31% lower levels of adhesion molecules that cause inflammation and plaque buildup in arteries. Now we're ready for the number one most important food that studies show can transform leg circulation faster than anything else. Number 1. Beets. Here it is, the food that takes the top spot. Beets contain the highest natural concentration of dietary nitrates of any vegetable, up to 10 times more than spinach. When researchers at Wake Forest University studied the effects of beet juice on older adults, they found something extraordinary. Drinking beet juice before exercise increased blood flow to muscles by an average of 38%. But here's the study that really matters. Research published in Circulation investigated patients with peripheral artery disease, the exact condition that causes leg pain when walking. These patients drank 2.4 ounces of beetroot juice containing about 560 milligrams of nitrate. Within just 2.5 hours, their blood flow improved, and they were able to walk 18% longer before experiencing pain. Another study in the Journal of Applied Physiology found that beet juice supplementation improved oxygen efficiency in muscles by 19%, meaning your muscles could do more work with less oxygen. The mechanism is beautifully simple. Beets contain nitrate. Your saliva contains bacteria that convert nitrate to nitrite, and then your stomach and blood vessels convert nitrate to nitric oxide. This nitric oxide causes your arterial walls to relax and dilate. Studies show blood pressure drops and blood flow increases within 2 to 3 hours of consuming beets. A study in hypertension followed older adults who drank beet juice daily for 1 week and found that their blood pressure dropped by an average of 8 points systolic and 4 points diastolic. They maintained improved arterial flexibility throughout the study period. You have several excellent options for consuming beets. Raw beets contain the highest nitrate levels. Grating raw beets into salads works well. You can also juice raw beets for the most concentrated dose. Most studies showing dramatic improvements use beet juice. If you're juicing at home, 1 medium beet produces about 3 to 4 ounces of juice. Drink it within 30 minutes of juicing. Many people mix beet juice with apple juice to improve the taste. Roasting beets is delicious, but you lose some nitrate content. Studies show that roasting at 400 degrees for 45 minutes can reduce nitrates by about 15 to 20%. To minimize loss, wrap your beets in foil. Steaming is probably the best cooking method because it's gentle. Steam beets whole with the skin on for about 30 to 40 minutes. The skin peels off easily once they're cooked. The quantity that produces results is typically 1 to 2 medium beets per day, or the equivalent in juice. A medium beet contains roughly 250 milligrams of nitrate. Studies showing the biggest improvements use between 300 and 500 milligrams of nitrate daily, which translates to about 1.5 to 2 medium beets. Consistency is absolutely critical. Your body doesn't store nitrates, so you need to replenish them daily. Daily consumption creates sustained improvements in blood vessel function. A study in nitric oxide tracked daily beet juice consumption for 15 days and found that arterial stiffness decreased progressively, with the biggest improvements happening after day 10. One crucial tip that most people don't know: avoid using antibacterial mouthwash if you're consuming beets. The nitrate conversion happens in your mouth thanks to beneficial bacteria. Mouthwash kills these bacteria. A study found that using antibacterial mouthwash eliminated the blood pressure lowering effects of dietary nitrate. Your legs don't have to hurt. The pain you've been experiencing isn't an inevitable part of aging. It's a sign that your circulation needs support, and now you have the knowledge to provide that support through strategic food choices. Start with one food if adding all four feels overwhelming. Even adding beets alone can create noticeable improvements within 2 weeks. Then gradually incorporate the others. Remember that these foods work together synergistically. If you found this information valuable, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss our health tips. Share this video with any seniors in your life who struggle with leg pain, and share with us your experiences and opinions in the comments below. We love to hear them. Thanks for watching.